Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy AI Legends, and today I shall be uploading another series which is going to be What if Naruto was the reincarnation of Alien X as well as neglected? As we know that, well, guys, I have already made this series before, but it was not completed and it was not that great of an idea. So I decided to redo this series, and I hope that this time you guys will like it because I will try my best to make this series more interesting as possible. But before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video to come on guys, please subscribe to my channel because I really want to reach 10,000 subscribers as quick as possible, and it will help me a lot if you guys subscribe to my channel. So come on, it will be a great help, as well as I have put the link of my Instagram along with third channel ARCutes within the description below. So follow me on Instagram as well as subscribe to my third channel. So without any further ado, let us guys start our video. So we start the series from Ben Tennyson world. This time it is going to be the timeline in which Ben 10 Ultimatrix, that series, as Ben 10 along with Kevin has just defeated Egregore, as Kevin saw there was no other way just to absorb, as he absorbed the Ultimatrix power as he transformed into a different type of creature, as he was able to defeat Egregore, and then he was going berserk, so he decided to even absorb the baby alien X, which Egregore wanted to absorb to obtain great power. So he tried to absorb the alien X, but Paradox along with Gwen were able to stop him, but still, Kevin was able to absorb a bit of power of the alien X, which was going to explode his body because he was already way too unstable. So he decided to release all that power within the universe. As we know from the early on, before coming to the world of Alien X, it comes the world of the dimensions and the universes. As that power was way too great to just vanish into nothingness. After all, it was the power of an alien X which was still growing, so this power was immense. So this power traveled through the dimensions as well as universes and landed into the world we know and love. So let us start our video from here on, as within the hidden leaf village, a nine-tails fox was roaring as he was destroying the village. His big nine tails were destroying and killing many shinobis along with civilians and buildings, as everyone was screaming in pure horror and pain. But then only single man stood up to the nine tails. It was none other than Minato Namikaze, none other than the fourth Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village, as the nine tails launched a Bijudama towards Minato, who he was able to deflect, or you can say teleport to a far distance place, and then Minato simply teleported the nine tails along with him. This time Minato was able to defeat the Tobi, or you can say Obito Uchiha, very quickly, as he left some shadow clones along with Kushina in his previous position, as they were able to get, or you can say, another seal there, as Ninetales landed on the top of the seal, and Minato arrived along with the third Hokage, and they quickly activated the seal, splitting the Ninetales into two halves, Jin and Jan, as Minato has already planned everything, as he was going to sacrifice, or you can say sealed away, the half of the Ninetales within Menma and half of the Ninetales in Mito. As in this timeline, Naruto is not going to be a Jinchuriki, but this still is not going to make his life happy or anything. After all, it is a neglected what if. So let us start our video from here on. As but unknowing to everyone, when the nine tails was sealed away, a bright green light filled the area. This was really surprising to many, but this light got straight to the third child, which was none other than Naruto Uzumaki. As this kid was not the Jinchuriki of the nine tails, but he still had the whisker marks along with his siblings. But it did not change anything, as as the green light straightly entered into Naruto Uzumaki, a newborn whose chakra network or the power was still growing, just like the baby alien X. Well, you guys can argue that why Naruto, but to be honest, after all, it is a Naruto series, so obviously he's going to be the main character. So don't ask me in the comment section. After all, it is just, you can say, plot or whatever. As now, we have a small time skip. In this time, Naruto, along with his family, was growing. In the early ages, Naruto was just like any ordinary kid wanting attention from his parents, even though Minato along with Kushina loved Naruto along with their children, but they loved Menma and Mito more. After all, they thought that they had the bigger burden, so they started to give more and more attention towards Menma and Mito. But before, now we have a small flashback. After the 9 days destroyed the village as Minato was standing with his family as he told everyone that how the 9 days was defeated by him as everyone was cheering as then Minato said as he would not have been able to save the nine or you can say defeat the 9 tails and save the village along with his life if it was not because of these children as he put both Menma and Mito upward as everyone was confused as then Minato explained that how these two are actually his own children as these two has caged the 9 tails. First people were angry about it but then Minato started to explain that how if it was not of Menma and Mito everyone would have died in the village and 9 tails would have won. But then people started to understand, and in time, everyone started to realize that how Menma and Mito are actually the hero of the hidden leaf village. As then, the attention was now diverted towards both Menma and Mito, leaving Naruto in complete and utter dust. It is not like Naruto was tortured or anything. You can say complete. He is sometimes does not even exist. Or you can say, as Naruto's personality started to change, as the power inside of Naruto, which was actually from the power of an alien X, started to grow, it was not completely developed power, as Naruto's new body also started to merge with the growing power of the alien X, as Naruto started to get knowledge which he should not have. First, the knowledge of this whole world, how this world even came to be, the chakra, the energy, as he has great interest in studying and all. First 5 years of Naruto's life, he tried his best to get attention from his parents because the power inside of Naruto was still growing as he did not knew about it. Even Minato as well as Kushina did not pay any mind to the green light which arrived there as they thought that it must be because of the seal or something like it or something like Ninetales doing but they did not care about it. After all, it did not destroy the village or Menma and Mito as for the Menma and Mito, they are completely, you can say, utter spoiled brats, as both Minato as well as Kushina gave great attention towards both Menma and Mito. Now, in these 5 years, Naruto started to realize that his parents actually cared about him, but not that much. When it comes to Menma and Mito, it is always Menma and Mito and all, which really angered Naruto, as well as every birthday party they ever had. It was always about Menma and Mito. He also got some presents, but not that much, as whole village know about Menma and Mito as they are the hero of the village, hidden in the leaves, which really angered Naruto for some time. But still, Naruto being Naruto and all, he tried his best to not care about it. Now, let us go to the main fun part and the main story. Now, we have a skip. In this time, power of the alien X was still growing inside of Naruto. As then, finally, it was about time. As then, Minato as well as Kushina was standing in front of both Menma and Mito along with Naruto as Minato smiled and said, "Alright, today is the day that we are going to start training you guys in our clan matters as well as clan training shall start from today." As both Menma and Mito started to cheer as well as Naruto was quite happy. After all, it was about time his training is going to begin. As Naruto said, "So, what are we going to learn first?" As Minato looked towards Naruto as well as Kushina. As Kushina had a sad expression on her face as she said, "Well, dear, I think that you're not ready just yet for the training. As Naruto was really shocked after hearing that. After all, his personality and powers are not just merged with the Alien X power. As he said, what do you mean by that? You just told us that clan training will begin from today. So, am I not included in the clan?" As Kushina said, "No, no, dear, it is not like that. It is just that we think that Menma and Mito need some more training. You know their condition, right, Naruto? They have the 9 tails. They have a big burden on them." As in this time, both Minato as well as Kushina explained to Menma and Mito that they have the 9 tails power inside of them, and it is not something to be ashamed of. It is a great power, and they hold this power that no one in the whole world have. This really made both of them arrogant as Menma started to laugh and said, "Well, loser, it is only suits her. After all, we are the heroes of this village." As Kushina said, "Alright, Menma, that is enough. Well, Naruto, your training shall begin. We will train you, don't worry about it. But I think that for some time we should train Menma and Mito. but in 1 or 2 years you are going to go to academy, so you will learn there as well. So don't worry about it. As Naruto finally was really sad after hearing that, as he went off. In the 1 year, he was learning all the things that he could from the books and all. As for Menma and Mito, they were training with both Minato as well as Kushina. As this really made sad both Minato as well as Kushina sad that they were not able to train Naruto, but it was for the better good. They can only focus on the Childs of Prophecy. And now we have escaped as Jiraiya finally arrived in the village, the time we were waiting for. As Jiraiya arrived, as he said, "Well, Minato, I have a great prophecy foretold by the great Toad Sage." As it is a strange prophecy, to be honest. Really did not understand it from the way he expressed it, but still, it seemed that this prophecy is really great and it is about this world and even above the universe. So, let me explain. As Minato was really interested in it now, as well as Tsunade, as well as Kushina were there, as he said, well, the great old Toad Sage said that a power ancient to this world, to the whole universe, shall arrive to this dimension, and then it will save the world. The power of the ancient times, of the ancient powers, unknowing to this world. As this really confused everyone, as I said, well, what do you mean by that? From a dimension and all, as then Jiraiya started to think and said, "Well, Minato, I think that this dimension and all is talking about the seal you used to seal away the nine tails. As for the ancient power, we know that the tail beasts are the most ancient to this world, to this whole world. So, I think that it is about the tail beast and the dimension part come from the seal you used to seal away the nine tails. So, I think that it is going to be one of the Menma or Mito are going to be the child of prophecy." As Minato was still trying to figure out what actually was this prophecy was about, but hearing that one of his children is going to save the world really made him excited, so he just simply shrugged off his confusion as he said, "Oh really? So Menman and Mito, one of them is going to save the world." As Tsunade said, "Well, it could be both of them if they tag team. So it is quite possible that both of them could be the childs of prophecy." As Jiraiya nodded at that, as Minato said, "Well, good thing that we are already training both Menma and Mito so that they can control themselves." As Jiraiya nodded and said, "Don't worry, Minato, I will help you with that as well." As then a frown came to the face of Minato and said, "Well, I was thinking about Naruto, you know. We should try to, you know, teach him something as well." As Jiraiya also think about it and said, "Well, Minato, it is about the fate of the world and we cannot take risk about it, you know it. If one of them is going to be the child of prophecy, I think that it is going to be Menma or Mito. So we cannot take risks. So don't worry about it, Naruto. We will train him in time and he is going to go to academy in time, you know." As Minato said, "Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So for now, we just only have to train Menma and Mito. So one of them could be strong enough to save the world, right?" As Jiraiya nodded and said, "Alright." And now Naruto heard everything as he was really sad because he was standing outside of the door as he went off, ran away into the Hokage monument, the only place in the whole village where he could see the village. Even though he's the Hokage's son, no one actually acknowledged him in the village. After all, it was every time Menma and Mito, every time they went to the village, it was either Lord Hokage or Menma and Mito. It was never him. So this really made Naruto sad as he was thinking, sitting on the Hokage's monument, really sad and all. But then it was about time. Naruto's body reached a limit as the power of the alien X, as Naruto was crying. This sadness triggered a strange power, his chakra coils to open up once again, as it was about time. As then suddenly a strange thing happened. The whole cloud, the world started to shook with pure and utter power as the thunders could be heard across the whole hidden leaf village. Just imagine the scene as the whole sky turns black and then thunders and all. As Naruto was looking at everything as he was crying, this power, his power was growing, and then suddenly, snap! His eyes started to glow green, and then his hair started to float as Naruto was still confused about it and he said, what is going on? But then suddenly his eyes got shut, and then the whole, you can say, clouds, thunders, and all tsunamis. If you have seen the scene of Super Saiyan 3 Goku transformation. Just imagine that type of scene. Just whole hidden leaf village, black and all. As everyone was confused about it. First they thought that some shinobis are trying to attack the village using some thunder jutsu. But it was not chakra. But then a strange pressure arrived in front of everyone, putting everyone on their knees. As Naruto started to float into the air, as the green light filled the whole, you can say, air, the sky, everything started to glow green, and then everything got died down. The only thing that was there standing in the whole hidden leaf village was one person. Standing on the head of the fourth Hokage was none other than Naruto Uzumaki with the blank expression on his face. Now we have a skip of time before Naruto's transformation, as Jiraiya was talking about how great Menma and Mito are going to be, but then suddenly they saw a strange pressure arrive on their shoulders as Jiraiya said, "What? What is going on?" Minato started to look outside of the window as he saw nothing, just darkness, as sky was turning black. As Minato said, "What? What is going on? I don't know. I can't feel any chakra. Could it be someone is trying to attack our village?" As Jiraiya said, "No, I cannot feel it either way," as they started to move back but then suddenly slapped as they were put to their knees and to the ground as everyone, no one was able to move in this time. While in the meantime, as Naruto was flying within the air, as everyone saw the green bright light arrive out of nowhere and then it simply vanished. No one saw a single thing as Naruto was standing in front of the village as he had his leg on the Hokage's monument as he was looking down upon the village as the knowledge started to arrive in his head, knowledge of the world, knowledge of the universe, knowledge of the multiverse, every dimension. He could see through it as Naruto started to look towards his hands and said, interesting. As his attitude completely changed along with his personality. Before, he was a sad, depressed kid, but now everything seems to change as Naruto said, I have never felt this way. And this knowledge. Sage of six path, huh? Kaguya, Otsutsuki. Interesting. Now we go to the other side of the universe, as it was the Otsutsuki king, as he was standing, sitting on his throne, and then he felt it, a power far beyond of his own reach, as he said, "What? What is this?" As he stood up, as he tried to use his Rene Sharingan to see what kind of power is this in the whole universe, but he was not able to see anything, just a small quarter of the universe where this power was actually coming from. This power was so intense that even the Usususkis of the upper rank were scared of this power. They did not want this power to come to them, as they could see that this is not chakra, this is above chakra, everything. As Utsutsuki King was really interested in this power because he was undefeated to this level. As we saw in Boruto, he wanted to become that god of the Utsutsuki, as he has already devoured a lot of planets. So he thinks that his power is unstoppable. As he said, could it be that someone is trying to this power? If I devour this power, I shall become the Utsutsuki god, and no one will be able to stop me. It will be hard to find that power, but still, I will be able to find it, and when I do, I shall take over that power, and that shall become the Utsutsuki god. As he started to laugh naively, while on the other hand, the other Utsutsuskis of higher rank, Momoshiki, Kinshiki, everyone was scared for a moment when they felt that power. Even that power was far beyond that of even the god tree, 10 tails, seems like nothing, while on the other hand, a single kid was standing as he said, well, it is quite interesting. It seemed that I can do anything. As he moved so fast within the village, within seconds, he almost covered the whole village. As he said, really, really interesting. Let's see how much I can actually do. I don't know from where this is coming from, but it seems like, I feel like, that I can do literally anything. As Naruto was thinking all of this, as he was moving, or you can say just simply walking by the people, but everyone seems to be slow, in slow motion. In reality, he was moving at the speed of light, and no one was able to even touch him or anything, and he was just walking. But everyone seems to be like flies, nothing compared to him, as he simply vanished from that point. Now we head towards Minato, as everyone stood up and said, what was going on? As Minato said, what it could be, Jiraiya sensei? As Jiraiya started to think and said, well, Minato, I don't know exactly, but it seems that some type of it could be some type of signal or a warning from the gods, As Minato looked towards Jiraiya strangely and said, really? As Jiraiya said, well, it could be only possibility. Well, it was not like chakra. I have never felt it before. This power was strange. But right now we have other things to deal with. We have to go through the village to see if everyone is okay. As Minato nodded, as all of them went out. Now we have a skip of time. In this time, let's see. Right now, Naruto, along with both Menma and Mito, are 9 years old as they had finally entered into the academy. As both Minato as well as Kushina saw the attitude of Naruto, he looks upon to everyone as if everyone was beneath him. His attitude has really changed. He's more like a badass, to be in short words. He wears black, complete black and green from place to place. So, this really started to, you can say, annoy both Menma and Mito, as there were many times both Menma and Mito actually challenged Naruto, but he simply ignored both of them, which really annoyed both Menma and Mito. Now they were sitting in the academy. In this time, both Minato along with Kushina were teaching both Menma and Mito. They are around 9 to 10 years old and they have really grown a lot. They are actually above everyone in the academy right now, as it was about time. As then Iruka said, alright kids, today we are going to see how strong you guys actually are, because from today on we are going to start our shinobi career for you guys. You shall study about shinobis along with the history of the whole village and the shinobi world. Here you will learn these things and then one day you guys will become a strong shinobi. Who knows, one of them could be even as strong as Lord Hokage. As everyone started to laugh as then Menma stood up. Huh, obviously it is going to be me, the child of prophecy. Huh, as Mito nodded at that as she also stood up. Well, I could also get strong, Menma. Well, I would be stronger than Lady Tsunade. She is my idol. As everyone was, you can say, appreciating both Menma and Mito. As for Naruto, he was just looking outside of the window into the space, into the other planets and all, just ignoring these annoying birds. To him, they were nothing. When Naruto gained this power, he was really amazed because, but then his human side started to get suppressed even more and more. Do you guys even know why Alien X never do anything in the whole universe in the Ben 10? Because there was no reason to do anything, as they had so much power they can do literally anything, so they did not do a thing. When you get so much power, many things started to, you can say, there was no point in doing those things. They are immortal, they, while other things are not, so it is just like that. Now, let us go to the story. As Naruto was just simply ignoring all of these people, and then Iruka said, alright, it is about time we test your skills and all. So, come out in this time, along with other clan heads as well as Minato, as well as Tsunade arrived along with Kushina, as they wanted to see that how strong these kids actually are, as Minato wanted to see how much progress both Menma and Mito had made. After all, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Minato as well as Kushina were training both Menma and Mito. So they wanted to see how strong they actually were. As then Luca said, alright, let us throw kunais and all, as they gave them these kids kunais as they were throwing, as Menma got 7 out of 10, as Iruka was really impressed, as well as you can say Sasuke got 5 out of 10 as he was angry, as Menma looked towards Sasuke and smirked as Sasuke was angry, as there was a little rivalry between both of them. After all, Sasuke Uchiha, the Uchiha elite, as Mito was able to also able to get 7 out of 10, as she said, well, I will get more than you next time, Menma. As Menma said, well, keep dreaming. And then it was about time for Naruto, as Naruto picked up all the kunais and looked towards them lazily, as Naruto looked towards Minato as well as Kushina was giving him a thumbs up to do his best, even though they're not expecting that much. The highest score is 7, and after that it was 5, and after that it was 1 or 2, which some kids were able to pull off, as Naruto just looked towards them lazily and then threw all the kunais and shurikens at once, and all of them hit the bullseye, really shocking each and every one that was there. As Iruka said, amazing Naruto, it was really good, as everyone was really surprised. and all the clan heads and the civilians that were there, as they were really surprised when Naruto threw the kunais so lazily as all of them hit the bullseye. As Naruto said, huh, boring. As he simply went off, as Menma and Mito were in pure rage and anger. The attitude of their sibling Naruto is completely, you can say, they do not understand it. As they are the child of prophecy, they are more arrogant than him. So why does he always look down upon them? This really annoyed both Menma and Mito as Kushina said, wow, I did not knew that Naruto know how to use kunais. As Minato thought about it and said, well, it could be that he would be practicing how to throw kunais and all. After all, he is not trained by us, you know. As Kushina nodded and said, well, he could be really sad. As Minato said, well, don't worry about him. We have the child of prophecies to worry about. So don't worry about him now. As we will train him in time, you know. As Kushina nodded. As Jiraiya also arrived, yo, what is going on here, Minato? And Minato said, well, these kids are just showing their skills. And guess what? Naruto got 10 out of 10 in the kunai throwing. As Jiraiya said, what? He got 10 out of 10? Well, it seems that your brat must be training in jealousy from both Menma and Mito, you know. As Minato laughed and said, well, these are just kids, you know. As then Jiraiya said, well, just forget the kunais. I bet Menma and Mito could actually beat him in a fight. Well, don't worry about it, they are just siblings. They are not going to fight, right? As then nodded, and now it is about time for the other hand-to-hand combat, and then it was fight between the fires simply went off as then it was Menma versus Sasuke, which Sasuke tried to use the fireball, but Menma was able to substitute, which he was able to learn from Jiraiya, and he put his kunai into the throat of Sasuke as Sasuke finally gave up. And then Naruto also fought a random shinobi, but he was able to dodge each and every blow of that shinobi, which really surprises everyone as Naruto had his hands within his pocket and he was not even moving from the place as he was easily dodging and ducking each and every attack as the kid really got annoyed. So he tried to scream at Naruto, calling him a coward, but then a foot was planted on his face, while standing outside of the ring, knocking the kid outside of the ring and declaring Naruto the winner, as Naruto was simply ignoring each and every one of them. And then Iruka said, alright, it is over I suppose, and then suddenly Menma said, wait a minute Iruka sensei, I want to challenge someone here so that I can show that person his true place. As Iruka said, well, if he accepts the challenge, that is Menma. As Menma said, well, let's see, I want to challenge Naruto for a fight. As Iruka said, Naruto, isn't he your sibling? You can fight him anytime, you know. As Menma said, well, Naruto, I challenge you for a battle. I want to show you your true place. You're really arrogant, you know. As Naruto just looked towards Menma and then started to look outside of the window. As Iruka said, well, Naruto, do you accept the challenge? As Naruto said, no. And then he started to look outside of the window. As Menma scoffed and said, well, it seems that you're scared already. As Kushina said, what is Menma doing, Minato? As Minato said, well, don't ask me. He's challenging him. It seems that both of them have a rivalry or something like it. I don't know. You are the one who is mostly at home, Kushina. As Kushina said, well, both of them barely talk with each other. You know how it is. As Jiraiya said, well, let's see what happens. As Menma said, well, scared already? Well, no doubt there. You're just a loser. And nothing more than a loser. I'm the child of prophecy. And as Menma started to explain that how great he actually is, as then Naruto said, well, accept the challenge. If this simply shut your trash of a mouth, Menma. Alright. As Menma said, what did you say to me? You loser? Alright, I will prove to you. I'm the child of prophecy. You're going down, Naruto. As Naruto said, alright. If this shut your trash, I will do it. As Menma said, as Iroka sighed and said, alright, it seems that these siblings have a complex relation. Well, it should be fun to watch both of the Hokage's sons fighting. As one of the crowd members said, hey, who's the other kid? Who's fighting? The Hokage's son. As I said, well, don't you know? Well, that kid seems familiar, but I don't remember. Who is it? As for Minato as well as Kushina, both of them were listening to this conversation. As I said, what? They don't know Naruto? But how? How is this even possible? Every time we go out, Naruto is with us, right? As they started to think about it, as then a simply frown came on both of their faces, as not even villagers, many of the villagers did not even knew Naruto actually was, as Naruto was standing within side of the ring, as Menma arrived and said, "Alright, loser, get ready to lose?" As Naruto said, "Huh, whatever. Bring it on already, Menma. I have better things to do." As Melma scoffed and said, "Alright, the better thing you will be doing is going to the hospital, you loser." As Ruka said, "Alright, begin." As Melma started to rush towards Naruto with incredible speed, as Kushina was frowning in this time, realizing her mistakes and all that how much they were actually neglecting their other son. As right now, Naruto is around 10-year old, as well as Menma and Mito, and they are not 10-year, you can say 9-year, or it could be 10 as well, but who cares? As well, guys, I have just said that both Minato as well as Kushina realized their mistake. Just scratch that because it will not make that much of a one. After all, we have other things like the graduation exam and the tuning exam. So just scratch that as no one talked about it. As both Kushina as well as Minato were expecting Naruto to get beat, but they were not. They were expecting that Menma will not beat Naruto that much. As Kushina said, "Well, I hope that Menma go easy on his brother. After all, he's not being trained by us, Minato." As Minato nodded and said, "Don't worry, he will not hurt Naruto that much. And if things go out of hand, we are here, right?" As Kushina nodded, as Menma said, "Alright, loser, it is about time that I show you your true place." As Naruto said, "Just shut up and get this over with, brother." As Menma scoffed and said, "Alright, you're no brother to me, alright. You're going down, loser." As he started to rush towards Naruto with incredible speed, for a small 9 years old, as he tried to deliver a punch on the face of Naruto, as everyone was expecting Naruto to get hit by the attack, even Minato, who is the fastest, as it was around an inch away from the face of Naruto. The air from the punch was already coming to the face of Naruto, and then suddenly everyone, you can say, simply blinked, and the next thing they knew, as Menma's face was planted on the ground, as Naruto was, you can say, grabbing the face of Menma, and Menma was on the ground, as Naruto stretching his arm, as you can say, it could be a lock to the ground, as everyone was in utter shock. No one saw anything. The thing they saw was Menma's face on the ground, as Naruto was standing in front of him, as everyone was in utter shock, as Minato said, "What? How did he do that?" And then Menma stood up and said, "You damn loser," and started to rush towards Naruto, as Naruto put both of his arms within his pocket and then started to dodge each and every attack of Menma. This really shocked each and everyone that was there. They were expecting Menma and Mito to be strong, even though they were fast and strong, they can see that. But Naruto was dodging each and every attack like it was nothing. As then Mema said, "Stop dodging an attack, you damn loser," as it was about to deliver a punch to the face of Naruto or to his gut, as Naruto simply moved his body and a kick to the face of Menma planted on a straight on his face, sending him outside of the ring, knocking Menma's not knocking him out, but still, you can say, putting him out of his misery. As everyone was in utter shock, everyone in the village already knew that Benma and Mito are being trained by so many shinobis. This really shocked everyone. As Benma stood up and said, "Huh, damn it, I just got sleep. As Naruto said, "Alright, is it over, Ruka sensei?" As Ruka said, "Yeah, it is over. Naruto, well done." This really shocked everyone, as Menma was in pure rage and anger, as after the academy he went to Minato, who was still there, as Ruka said, "Alright, today's class is over. You guys can leave with your parents," as everyone was already there because they were there to see the progress of their kids in this time. As Menma arrived, as he said, "Hey, Pavi Sage, I want you to train me even more harder. That damn loser is not going to get better of me again." As Jiraiya just simply gave him a thumbs up and said, "Don't worry, Menma. He just simply got lucky. We all saw it. You got a bit slipped up there, right?" As Menma started, "Yeah, I got slipped there. That was all. He's just a loser and nothing more than that." As Kushina said, "Alright, Menma, that is enough. He's your brother. You should treat like each other. Treat each other like brothers. As Menma just simply scoffed and said, "Alright, let us go." As Mito also arrived, "Well, Menma, it seems that you got lost by the hands of a loser." As Menma scoffed and said, "Just shut up, Mito. I'm going to beat that brat, and he will regret making a fool out of me." As for Naruto, he was simply walking. As Minato said, "Hey Naruto, can we go to ramen stand? We are all going there." As Naruto said, "No, I got some training to do." As Minato wanted to know how strong Naruto, how did Naruto get so strong? Everyone, but there was a bit arrogant. Jiraiya in the training he was giving Menmai Mito along with Tsunade, but he was not. He saw how fast Naruto actually moved. For a split second, even he was not able to follow those type of movements. He wanted to know what type of training he actually was doing and wanted to know more about him. But for now, he has to just stay relaxed. Okay, guys, here I will leave this part. In the next part, there will be fireworks. And you know, when I make my series, it is mostly about explosions and all, and it will be really fun. I have already story planned and all, but still, if you guys want me to give some suggestions, I will think about it and it will be really fun. So I hope that you guys have already subscribed, and the like goal for the next part is going to be, let's see, 200 likes and 120 comments in the comment section. Do that and I shall upload the next part as quick as possible. So it was really fun. Please guys, subscribe, and I have put the links within the description below. Follow and subscribe that channel as well. So peace.